If you put it on that way. Hello, my friends, and welcome to another edition of the Nintendo News Roundup. I gotta hurry through this one because I'm gonna have a root beer float, and I took the vanilla ice cream and I put it on the counter to let it soften. So we gotta move through this because I don't want it too soft, you know. Hideki Kamiya has given another kind of non-update on Bayonetta 3, and I would say this one is a little bit more substantial, though. It's like, again, he basically says we can't share anything. Let me read it. Part of the quote here: as much as everyone is clamoring to see it, we are really waiting to release it too. Everyone who is working on the project is, of course, very proud of what we're doing and wants everyone to see what we're doing. As much as fans are waiting for it, we are waiting for the day when we can show it. We want everyone to cheer us on as we run to the final stretch. We want to show it too. It's still basically saying we can't show it until Nintendo lets us. But it kind of, even just the fact that he mentioned the final stretch, it doesn't necessarily mean they're there or about to be there. I don't know. To me, the vibe I get from that means it's coming. It's got to be coming. So we'll see. Maybe Nintendo Direct next week. Maybe. Nintendalerts believes that the Switch will be getting a price drop in France soon, as early as next week. And this would just go for the base model. According to them, it'll go from 329 euros down to 270. We don't know if this is true, and if it is true, we don't necessarily know if this will happen anywhere else. Could just be France. Who knows? But there's at least a small chance that there will be some sort of price drop coming. I mean, it would certainly be cool. I don't really see it happening, but you know, the Switch OLED coming in, you bump down the other model. I mean, I don't know. It just kind of makes sense, I guess, but we'll see. Ex-Retro Studios veteran Mike Wiccan, something like that, recently had a chat with Reese Riley's Kiwi Talks podcast. And it's incredible how much knowledge and how much just interesting stuff is in the minds of the people who worked on these amazing games. And it just kind of takes someone asking them. It just takes somebody just asking questions, and we get these like giant revelations. He had a number of interesting things to say about his time at Retro. He says that the Metroid Prime Trilogy collection was essentially done primarily by a 4-person team. 4 people to do that. That is incredible. And of course, I can't help but snark and be, like, oh, maybe they don't want to do such and such collection. It'd be too much work. Well, what is it? 4 people? Okay, whatever. Moving on. Another interesting bit. It's pretty well known that Metroid Prime 1, there was a lot of crunch in that development. Like, they really crunched to get it done. But apparently, when Nintendo found out about that, they kind of like became more involved at Retro Studios and essentially guaranteed, like stopped them from crunching further on Metroid Prime 2 and 3. Like, they kind of came and fixed the company culture as far as that goes. So that's a really cool thing. Say what you will about Nintendo. They treat their employees like humans, They treat them really well. And that's awesome to see. He also mentioned how it was basically Miyamoto that came in and was playing early builds of Donkey Kong Country Returns, and he came up with the whole, like, blowing thing, like how you bend down and you blow dandelions and stuff. And, it's a cute thing. It's definitely, Miyamoto's really good at just the feel stuff. The little tiny details like that, and I can definitely appreciate that about him. I do kind of wish that we would see more stories like this where he was talking about, like, oh man, like a really good game mechanic, and not just like, you know what, never mind, we're not going into all this today. Miyamoto came up with the blowing the dandelions. Cool, the end. So a while back, we talked about how Nintendo was bringing Mario Kart tournaments and stuff to schools, and apparently they're teaming up with Digital Schoolhouse to bring this whole entire thing to UK schools. But even cooler, it's not just tournaments, they're actually getting a bunch of kids involved in like learning about the various aspects of game development and just jobs within the industry, and exploring all these different topics about coding and math and all this stuff. Sounds really cool. Sounds like a really awesome opportunity for kids. Oh, big news of the week. Oh man, what an incredible thing. Are you guys ready to explore the world of Super Mario 64 again in a Lego set? That's not me digging on the Lego set. That's just me making a joke about how it looks like a remake, and then it's a Lego set. No, it's a really cool Lego set. Look at this. Like Nintendo and Lego, they put out a little teaser with a little question mark block, and we didn't know what it was, and then they posted a thing. It opens up, and it's got these little teeny, like mini dioramas of like different levels in Mario 64. You got Bob on Battlefield and stuff. It's really cool. The way it flips open and stuff, it's pretty darn neat. I think personally, while the flipping open thing is kind of fun, I feel like if I were wanting to display this, I would want like a bigger, more detailed representation of these levels that are made to like sit there instead of being on top of the block. That's me being nitpicky though. This thing is really cool. Look at this. This is really cool. So I gotta say, I'm loving how much love Gengar has been getting. Has he always been this popular? Has Gengar always been? I don't know. It just feels like recently, really popping up a lot. We got a Gengar Build-a-Bear right here. Looks awesome, looks adorable. Gengar, one of my favorites. I love Gengar. And we got more Pokemon stuff here. We got Pokemon Funko Pops. We got even more joining the line. We got a Jumbo Charizard. We got a metallic Squirtle. I still don't understand the metallic ones. It's weird, but a big Charizard though, that's pretty cool. And this week, the Pokemons aren't just plastic figures. They aren't just bears. They're also Oreos. Pokemon Oreos. That's a thing. It's a thing that's happening. And they got different pictures on them. And it's like, collect all of the Oreos. So now we're gonna have people fighting over Oreos. You're supposed to eat them. People are gonna be collecting them. Selling them. I kept seeing screenshots of the little video they did, and I was like, why does it look like that? What are they animating this on? And then I realized it's because they're acting like it's animated with Oreos. It's cute. More merchy stuff. My Nintendo UK Zelda smartphone ring. It's pretty cool. It's one of those rings you put on your phone. This is a pretty exciting addition, I must say. Now we got some more actual stuff here. This is the thing, Nintendo has confirmed that they will not be at Tokyo Game Show this year, which is like, I mean, I still feel like it's weird. It is, it's definitely in line with what they've been doing. It seems like with this whole thing where everybody's going digital, it's like they just don't want to be a part of anything. Even when like every other game company is, and even when it's a thing that they're always at, I don't know. It's like they just don't want to. They're like, I don't know, we're just doing our own thing. And it's fine, you know, if there's a direct or something this month, then, you know, sure, you know, Tokyo Game Show is at the end of the month. So, you know, I get it, but it's still just a little bit weird, each thing that goes by, where they're just like, yeah, everybody in the world's gonna be there. Not us, though. It's like, all right. A while back, probably last year by now, the National Video Game Museum wanted to create an Animal Crossing themed exhibit, but specifically in the context of people playing Animal Crossing and really engaging a lot with that in the global pandemic. And it seems that they've done it. They've put it together. You can go to their website, link down in the sources as always, and it's really interesting. Just like tons and tons of just like art and how different people made their islands, and I don't know, it's just the whole thing. I can't even like describe the whole thing right here, but it's very interesting. Go look at it. This is something I know absolutely nothing about at all, so forgive me if I get any of this wrong. So apparently for a long time now, we've believed that there was this Silhouette emulator, which was allegedly a Super NES emulator that was developed by Nintendo themselves and leaked, and at some point they were considering, I mean, the idea is that they were considering getting into the PC market and like selling this emulator on its own, but then that never happened, but then it leaked, and so it's like, oh, this is like a real internal development emulator. And it's funny that after all these years, we couldn't get just like anybody to confirm or deny it, anyone who works at Nintendo. I don't know, but apparently, according to YouTuber Modern Vintage Gamer, they've kind of dug into the whole entire thing and have a lot of reason to believe that it's just kind of a hoax, and that this is just just a slightly altered version of the popular SNES 9X emulator, based on some specific coding stuff and specific trash pixels or something that are in Super Metro. I don't know. You can read all about, you can see all about it in the video. It's stuff I don't get at all, and yet I can still appreciate it as being interesting. A couple new Breath of the Wild glitches were discovered this week. It's so funny how often we get and they're always so simple. It's always just like, oh, you just like put your sword away at the right time and then you do this and it's a thing. Like, it's just random stuff. You can stick items onto Link's arm even like big heavy items as like an alternate way to carry them around and get their benefits. Like you can stick a Kuko and you get to glide, but you're not actually carrying it, so you can do other stuff. It seems like a pretty interesting thing. I'm eager to see how people learn to exploit this. Also a way to make burnable weapons not burnable, so you can take them into fireplaces and they don't burn. Who'da thunk? We got some fun fan stories this week. Instagram user, Instagramineer Miserable Beast has created a Skull Kid puppet. It's a little puppet of the Skull Kid, like a marionette. Super creepy and super perfect for Skull Kid. Awesome. Moko Brick Laboratory Channel has taken the Lego NES and made some modifications and added some stuff to make it turn into a Game Boy that is also a transformer. Like it turns into a Game Boy or into a little Game Boy mech. That's impressive. Speaking of Game Boys, right now, live on Kickstarter, we've got a Game Boy Productivity Suite, a series of Game Boy games with real actual cartridges of there's like a clock and a scheduler, like productivity apps, but on your original Game Boy. It's fully funded. It's like 300% funded right now. Long time to go. It's funny how much people just love these little, it's such a, nobody's gonna actually use this, but it just doesn't matter. People just think it's fun, and I think that's fun. One Stephen Morris has put together an album of Zelda covers in the style of bossa nova. I'm talking about this specifically because I have a weird affection for bossa nova music. It's just a very particular kind of music, and I think I only like it because of the Cowboy Bebop soundtrack and like one of Rouge's levels in Sonic Adventure 2 Battle. I'm pretty sure it's those two things, and now it's just drilled into me. I legitimately like bossa nova music. And it's Zelda and bossa nova. What's not to love? Last final thing. Shout out to official Arlo Discord moderator Sharp Edge for pointing me to this one. This Reddit user has thrown their son a Poke Party. Apparently they just love Pokies from Mario. Just a whole party. Just about Pokies. I love it. Awesome. That's it. That's the end. I'm gonna go have my, oh man, it's been way too long. Yeah, that ice cream, that's gonna be too soft. Oh man, okay, well, soft or not, I'm getting my float. See you later. Oh man, okay. Root beer float time.